The fisherman's soul then said to him,
I am your servant. Do not send me away now. Did I do anything bad to you?
The young fisherman laughed.
You didn't do anything bad, but I do not need you. The world is big. Go where you want, but do not disturb me, because my love is calling me.
Do not send me away without a heart. The world is cruel. Give me your heart.
How can I love my mermaid without a heart?
He cried.
Please,
said his soul.
give me your heart. The world is cruel, and I am afraid.
My heart is with my love now.
He answered.
Go away.
But I also need to love.
Said his soul.
Go away. I do not need you.
He took the little knife and cut his shadow from his feet. The shadow stood up in front of him.
Go away
He murmured.
and never come back again.
No, but we must meet again.
Said the soul.
How will we meet?
Cried the young fisherman.
Will you follow me into the sea?
Once every year I will come to this place and call you.
Said the soul.
Perhaps you will need me.
I do not think I will need you,
Cried the young fisherman.
but you can call me. I can come here again.
He went into the water. The little mermaid came to meet him. She put her arms around his neck and kissed him on the mouth. The soul stood on the beach and watched them. And when they disappeared into the sea, the fisherman's soul walked away and cried. After a year, the soul came down to the sea and called the young fisherman. He came out of the sea and said,
Why do you call me?
The soul answered,
Come nearer. I want to speak to you because I saw marvelous things.
So he came nearer and sat in the water and listened. The soul said to him,
When I left you, I went towards the east and traveled. Everything wise comes from the east. After a month in the city of Ilel, I became tired of it. I walked in the streets of the city and came to the garden of the god of the city. There was a pool of clear water in front of the temple. I sat down near it. One of the priests came to me and stood behind me.
What do you want?
He asked me. I want to see the god. He answered me.
There is no God, but this is the mirror of wisdom. It reflects all the things in heaven and on earth. But it does not reflect the face of the person if they look into it. So this person can become wise. There are many other mirrors, but they are mirrors of opinion. This is the only mirror of wisdom. When you possess this mirror, you know everything.
I looked into the mirror. The priest didn't lie. I placed the mirror in a valley near here. We can walk there in 3 days. Let me enter you again and be your servant, and you will have wisdom.
But the young fisherman laughed.
Love is better than wisdom,
He cried.
and the little mermaid loves me.
No, there is nothing better than wisdom.
Love is better.
Answered the young fisherman. He went back to the sea, and the soul walked away and cried. After the second year, the soul came down to the sea and called the young fisherman. He came out of the sea and said,
"Why do you call me?"
The soul answered,
"Come nearer. I want to speak to you, because I saw marvelous things."
So he came nearer and sat in the water and listened. The soul said to him,
"When I left you, I went towards the south and traveled. Everything precious comes from the south. I traveled 6 days to the city of Ashter. I saw the city on the morning of the 7th day. The city is like a bazaar. It is wonderful." That night, the guards of the emperor came for me. They accompanied me into the palace. When the emperor saw me, he was worried and said to me,
"What is your name? Don't you know that I am emperor of this city? Are you a prophet or the son of a prophet? Please leave my city tonight."
I answered him, "Give me half of your treasure, then I will go away." So he took my hand and accompanied me to a large room. Then we walked down a corridor. He said a magic word, and a granite door opened. The emperor covered his eyes with his hands to protect them from the light of the jewels there. Then the emperor said to me,
"This is my house of treasure, and half of it is yours. But you must go tonight."
I answered him, "The gold and all the precious jewels are yours. I only want your little ring." The emperor frowned.
"It is only a ring of lead,
He cried,
and it has no value. Take your half of the treasure and go away from my city."
"No," I answered. "I know that it is really the ring of riches. What is important is that I put the ring of riches in a cave. You can arrive there in 1 day. The owner of this ring is richer than all the kings of the world."
but the young fisherman laughed.
"Love is better than riches,
He cried,
and the little mermaid loves me."
"No, nothing is better than riches."
said the soul.
"Love is better."
Answered the young fisherman. He went back to the sea, and the soul walked away and cried. After the 3rd year, the soul came down to the sea and called the young fisherman. He came out of the sea and said,
"Why do you call me?"
The soul answered,
"Come nearer. I want to speak to you, because I saw marvelous things."
So he came nearer and sat in the water and listened. The soul said to him,
I went to an inn near a river in a city. I sat with sailors, and they ordered food and drink. After some time, an old man entered with a carpet and a lute. He put the carpet on the floor. When he played the lute, a girl came in and began to dance. There was a veil on her face, and she had no shoes. Her feet moved on the carpet like little white pigeons. It was really marvelous, and it is only 1 day away from here.
The young fisherman heard these words. He remembered that the little mermaid had no feet and could not dance. He thought,
"It is only 1 day away, and I can return to my love."
when he reached the beach, his soul ran towards him and entered him. They began their journey, and the next evening they came to a city. The young fisherman said to his soul,
"Does she dance in this city?"
His soul answered him,
Perhaps this is the city. Let's enter.
They walked in the streets.
because my love sings there.
Come with me to the Valley of Pleasure. That is better for you.
No, I will not come with you, and I will send you away again,
said the young fisherman. But his soul did not leave him, and said to him,
The magic of the witch will not work. It only works once in a man's life. I will stay with you forever, and this is your punishment and your recompense.
Now the young fisherman was desperate and cried because his soul was very bad.
You are bad, and I forgot about my love.
He freed his hands and called the mermaid, but she did not come. His soul laughed at him and said,
Your love gives you little joy. Come with me to the Valley of Pleasure. That is better for you.
The young fisherman did not answer his soul. He built a house by the bay and lived there for a year. Every morning he called the mermaid, and every midday he called her again, and at night he spoke her name. But she never came to see him, and he did not see her anywhere. His soul always asked him to do bad things, but the young fisherman never listened to him, because the power of his love was so great.
I told you about the joy of the world, and you did not listen to me. Now I will tell you about the pain in the world, and maybe you will listen. Some people do not have clothes, and other people do not have food, and others are ill. Come, let's go and help these people. Why do you wait here for your love? What is love? Why do you think it is so important?
But the young fisherman did not answer. The power of his love was so great. Every morning he called the mermaid, and every midday he called her again, and at night he spoke her name. But she never came to see him, and he did not see her anywhere. Just then he heard a terrible cry of sadness from the sea.
Oh!
The young fisherman ran to the beach. The black waves came quickly to the beach. They carried something that was whiter than silver. There at his feet the young fisherman saw the dead body of the little mermaid.
Love is better than wisdom, and more precious than riches, and more beautiful than the feet of the daughters of men. I called you in the morning, but you did not come. The moon heard your name, but you did not listen to me. I was bad when I abandoned you, but your love was always with me, and it was always stronger than bad and good. And now that you are dead, I will die with you also.
When he knew that the end was near, the young fisherman kissed the cold lips of the mermaid, and his heart broke.
I am very sorry,